Hello, good. Welcome.
Hey, what's going on? It's been a minute.
It's been, I guess 3 weeks, right? Because we got 3 episodes that we got to talk about.
Yep.
Holidays were busy for me. I'm assuming the same for you.
Very.
Everything good? Yeah.
Yeah.
I think we had people at the house I was off work for 17 days, including the weekends, and I think we had people at our house like sleeping over at our house every day, but 2.
Oh my
So it was
goodness.
just
Wild.
nonstop hosting.
Yeah,
Like,
I was off Christmas Day and New Year's Day.
that's it. Yeah.
That's it.
Well, it's different when you're an entrepreneur, right? Like if you're not working, I guess no one's working really. So
Well, people are, but our first busy season, I mean, I want to be there as much as I physically can,
yeah,
right? There's
yeah.
that
Where I
that
am just
desire to be like, I want to give people
yeah,
the best experience possible because a lot of them it's their first time in, so probably a little overboard, but it's been great.
yeah. Whereas I'm just a small cog in the machine, and if that cog is missing for a couple weeks or a month, no one will probably even notice.
Yeah, that's fair.
So
Oh,
I'll
I
talk about
don't think
it.
I would notice. I'd miss you.
Well, we don't really work together.
That's fair.
Okay. 3 episodes. I was thinking as I was trying to think about some of the things I want to talk today, it's a little tougher when you're doing them kind of in the advance or whatever. Like I kind of forget some of those little details. I was whole hyped up about, say episode 5 and 6. But what I will say, watching them kind of more together and closer together, and saving them up is a lot more enjoyable.
Very much so.
Very much so. I feel like my opinion of these last 3 is probably gonna be higher rather than if we did them individually and waited a week.
It's
So
better.
there
It's
is
better
that, yeah.
one story than it is in bits and pieces. Obviously we're talking apples and oranges here, but I remember watching a show like Game of Thrones in real time, and like you'd be so anticipated and so pumped for the next episode, and I look forward to the next one. But this is a binge show. This is not a wait every week show. This is a hammer them out in one sitting or 3 or 4 at a time, because it does piece the story together way better.
Yeah, and the end of every episode literally starts the next one, right? There's no a year has passed or like some events happen. They very much flow together well. And again, we've talked about ad nauseum. The structure of these Disney Plus shows stinks. Like 30 to 40-minute episodes. Like
make it 15 or make it an hour. Figure it out.
We're all used to HBO where you're getting an hour, sometimes even a little longer on like the ones that we really want to showcase some big moments, right?
Like Dune Prophecy.
Yeah. Did you like Dune Prophecy?
I'm enjoying it very much so far.
Yeah. We should talk about that one when you're done.
Yeah.
I got some thoughts. Anyways, let's talk about, I guess, episode 5 first. I was really into it. I thought it could be a little silly or goofy, but like with the whole spa thing. But I was really digging it. This whole build up. Oh, we're going to this notorious pirate lair. It's
Skull Mountain.
Yeah, and they get there, and it's literally like a vacation retreat. I was into it, and they had to kind of go undercover and work their way through there.
I'm going to give you one word. Ready? Yep. This is why it made every old nerd like us happy. Goonies.
Yeah. 100%.
It had the greatest Goonies vibe without being so nauseating that you didn't like it. Like it was such a cool feel, like the kids and the adventuring, and that was so good.
Yeah, they had some Indiana Jones vibes mixed in there. Even John gave a speech to one of the kids at the beginning talking about attachments and stuff like that, and when they was all sad. And in my head, I'm just like, okay, is he a Jedi? Like he's literally talking about, it felt like he was talking about like that type of teachings, right? And then we get to the end of the episode, and I think we all knew Jod was going to double cross the kids or something like that eventually. But I was surprised at him doing it the second they kind of got the map. And I was also surprised that he like wasn't like, I don't want to say evil, but like he's very much the bad guy. Like,
oh yeah.
It wasn't like, oh, these kids like just beat it, I'm going to take your treasure. It was like, I don't think he would even hesitate to even kill them if he had to.
And that's the one time in this series, and this has kind of been like that to me was a big moment, because there's a moment where he challenges her for being captain, and he's literally got the knife to his throat, and she's like, we're kids. And that's the entire series could have taken a fork in the road right there. It's the first time I've watched one of these newer Disney properties where I was 100% invested in what was happening in the moment, because one of two things are going to happen. We saw the result and the path it went.
Yeah.
That could have been the moment where he becomes humanized. That could have been the moment he puts the knife down, and then you could have taken a tale into kind of his background and learn more about him. Like,
Yeah.
I really liked it because it was the first piece of real anticipation I felt in the series. I'm like, this could go either way. Like, we could get a story about how, the trauma this guy's faced and why he is the way he is, and this is his coming back moment, or what happened. And I really enjoyed it. That was
good. And it still makes his character hella intriguing because like now who is he? Because he's definitely not, there's been I've seen lots of theories. Is he an Inquisitor? Is he a former Jedi? Is he like, what was he, sort of thing? And now, like the way he handles the lightsaber makes you, it looks like he's handled one before.
He's been trained.
Yeah. So like it's just, and then obviously we haven't even got, so over the next two episodes we still don't know who he is, but he keeps going down that villain path even further. So it's very intriguing. Like,
did you recognize the saber at all?
No,
I did not either. No. That was the one question I wanted to ask you, is when it showed it, I was like, I wonder if Tyler knows what saber this is.
It's a sweet looking hilt though.
It is a sweet looking hilt. Literally looks like it kind of looks like if BB-8 was a saber. It might be my new favorite saber. Like super white and kind of almost looks ceramic. It's cool. Yeah.
It's kind of funny. When he first saw it, he didn't really care for it, didn't really offer up much to it. And then the second he got like angry, immediately just force pulls it to him. Like, now it's like his thing. So the other little funny nod, I don't know if it was a nod to it, but there's always been that meme, like in A New Hope where Luke gets handed the lightsaber and he's looking in the end of it. And there's that meme, like handed the like the most dangerous weapon in the universe and points in his face, how the kid ignited it upside down. So I thought that was a funny little nod to just how kids have no idea like these are actually super dangerous weapons, right? They just think, oh, I'm going to be a hero with it. So I thought that was a fun moment. The booby traps, all that stuff was good. We could see that bounty hunter was going to, double cross Jod and get the rest of them involved. And then that kind of segues into the next episode. Still on that planet, Jod kind of is now prisoner with the pirates, and he's kind of making his last claim. I could finally get to the treasure. And Brutus, was that his name? Brutus doesn't believe him, but
correct. Yeah.
They're appealing to him a little bit, and then the kids have a bit of an adventure on how the hell they're going to get off the planet and their situation, right? Their way down. The kids have some fighting, some character development between the two of them. I thought it was really cool seeing
really well
her
done.
Implants get like reprogrammed and everything.
Yeah, and also a bit of a story as to what happened.
Yeah,
because she makes her comments like, she never looks at me the same after my accident. So something has happened to KB.
Yeah.
Yeah, I thought it was the little spat between them. I thought it was so well done. Well done.
Just seeing more into like some of that Star Wars tech too is
the kids have done such an incredibly good job in this series.
Yeah.
Like really
then they get to we had the crabs. I don't know why. I thought they just reminded me of those creatures in Ahsoka that brought Sabine to Ezra. They were a lot bigger.
A little bit, yeah. I mean? Yeah, that's
although
fair.
The crabs were a little bit double crossing because they were bringing it to Mama to eat.
Yeah.
But yeah, they get out of it, and then the ship's in the garbage pile, and then they finally hit that button. I thought it was a cool moment where it wasn't like the Enterprise separating from like the top dish or whatever. It was like the whole outer hull just kind of slid off like a piece of
snake skin. Yeah.
Yeah. So that was good. Yeah, again, I haven't really seen that. So anytime we see something new, I'm appreciative of it. And they set that up from the beginning, right? Because they talk about that button in like the first or second episode. They're like, don't touch that.
I have a question on this. And as someone who's more into the lore than I am, there is a moment where 33 seems to make a decision to help the kids, even though he's technically programmed to serve the captain, who is Jod.
Yeah.
Do you agree with it because it was great for the story? Or do you kind of shun it a little bit because it is against traditional Star Wars lore?
So I did see it, and the robot or 33 kind of almost having like being self-aware and making his own choices. Again, you see that in Star Wars, but it seemed like his programming was pretty firm. whoever's the captain, I report to.
Yeah.
And then we see it. Not that I want to jump ahead, but like it is a moment I have written down to talk about in the most recent episode. The whole unclaimsies thing. I thought was
that's actually what I'm referring to.
That's what you're referring to. Oh, okay.
Yeah, unclaimed.
Yeah,
good enough for me.
Yeah. So I'm like, I could see for kids that's a funny little moment, and like a yay, like because I think everyone didn't want 33 to feel like a bad guy, right?
Of course not.
But yeah, I don't know.
I have an unpopular opinion of it.
Yeah.
I loved it for the story.
Yeah, I like. I
don't care that it goes against.
Does it make sense?
I
don't know, but
I don't want to say it goes against canon, but I don't care that it doesn't go with traditional kind of Star Wars droid behavior of that era. I thought it was absolutely fantastic.
Yeah.
I
thought, again, if you're in the frame of a kid's show, for like the kids not to know what to do in that situation, just yell, well, unclaimsies. You know what I mean? So like,
no backsies.
Yeah, and John's like, that's not how it works, and just boom,
close enough for me.
Like you said, I liked it for the story. For
sure.
Yeah,
I have zero issues with it. I know some people will, and that's okay. It's not unwarranted, but like it goes with the line they're dancing between a show that's focused towards kids, that has kids in it, but that is still a little dark. They've skated the boundaries really well. I mean, this series, by the way, is absolutely growing on me as a Star Wars property.
And I will say, I've been also waiting to watch. I haven't been watching them when they air Tuesday nights, especially since we've been busy. But I've been watching them with my kids, and like my kids are into it. And this episode 7 that just aired, Cole's like, "Oh my god, Daddy, that was the best one!" Like they were like legitimately pumped for this show. So if you want to,
I watched it. Did you?
What?
Did you watch the one on Tuesday night?
Yeah, the most recent one. Yeah.
Oh yeah. Okay. Yes.
Yeah. So
that's right. Yeah, that was the
that's
undoozies.
The unclaimsies.
Yeah.
So the fact that my kids are now, this is the first Star Wars show they've watched with me that they've been genuinely excited about.
Yeah.
So to me, that tells me Disney hit the right notes with this one.
Yeah.
Yeah, because my kids, I wouldn't be frank.
When we first started watching it, we were both kind of like, okay, you're towing a line here. I'm a little worried. Yeah.
No, it's fun. It is fun for the whole family. It wasn't just a kids show, and it's not cheesy either, right? So so we get in this most recent episode, I thought a lot of cool stuff happened. For one, Jod's villain turn, Captain Silvo, how he gets rid of Brutus, I thought was great. I wasn't expecting him to basically straight up murder him in front of the crew like that, but it shows you the type of guy Jod is. I like that the kids used the hook, and I like that the pirates didn't know what was going on, but Jod knows it's literally kids. And then he says, listen, there's 4 scared children in there. Go get them.
Yeah.
So I thought that all that stuff was clever, the setup, and then we lead into the unclaimsies. I liked all that. I love that Jod's carrying around that lightsaber with him. Poor 33 gets decapitated, but we all know with droids, they could come back from that pretty easy. I would imagine we're going to see 33 again.
I found it weird that all the parents happen to be together with no escort at the end.
At the end?
How do they get everything's so regimented there?
Because they did say your kids came, or they were going to notify the kids were here. There was a communication. But
they wouldn't let them go unattended.
Yeah,
it was the one. I mean, we're talking like we're drawing at straws here, but I'm like, there's no way they get to go down to the vault,
especially
when one guy's a data analyst. Like,
I could see that.
I mean, that's the smallest little gripe, though. Like, I'm drawing at straws. I know why they did it. Obviously, they wanted to have Jod, the kids, and the parents alone in one spot together. But that was like, I would have rather have seen them be escorted down by half a dozen droids and Jod, force push them off the bridge or something like that.
Yeah.
Because the idea of them all being able to go down to the vault, unless there's something we don't know about At-Aten, where everyone does get to see it.
Maybe when you're an adult, you understand what's going on. Maybe.
Yeah.
And I thought
because they referenced that, right? They're like,
they did.
You're not supposed to know until after graduation.
Yeah. So maybe they get brought in on everything once they're getting their.
How many of these vaults do you have? 1,132, and he's just so good.
Yeah. We finally see the full barrier fleshed out, which I thought looked great. I thought the barrier was just going to be like the atmosphere in the planet, but it was a whole ring around the planet, which I thought was pretty good. I like that. It's literally
I love how they hit it.
Yeah, exactly. And if a ship was to be like, let me just explore in there a little bit, likely they're getting zapped and never making it out.
Yeah.
Right. And the tail goes, oh, someone went to travel through whatever chemical maw, they said toxic, whatever, and never made it back. So it's almost a warning, never travel there. So I think that fits narrative wise as why no one's ever found it. And then the planet's just like a little utopia in the middle of nowhere. And the only way to get through is to have an old Republic MSC, which the Onyx Cinder ended up being one of those ships and is the key to get them through. So I thought that'll fit and worked. And then
that's the part I couldn't put together. I thought that they had passed at a certain point because I thought that 33 had said that there was an old ship jammed into that piece because there was something that was malfunctioning.
Yeah.
I thought the old captain, like Renard, sent a ship in to basically hit this impact point and they could pass there. But that makes way more sense that the Onyx Cinder was an old MSC
I'll be
ship.
honest, I couldn't hear what they were saying all that much because I'm watching on my projector without the speakers hooked up. Yeah, because the first tower didn't turn green when they went past it.
But I thought there was something jammed in the tower.
Yeah, maybe.
And I'm sorry that your installation expert is delayed. What was I thinking?
Either way, when they land, it's clearly they are an emissary coming, right? The whole red carpets, the droids.
Absolutely. Yeah. No, I think you're absolutely right.
Yeah. So I think whatever it was, something to do with that ship was the key to get through the defenses.
Yeah.
And then I love when you see like the minting process when they got halfway down. Like it just everything set up was just so like interesting. And the vaults were huge. Jod really needs to get the frigate in there to get all that money out, which I still don't know if he's going to be able to. Which leads us to two big questions and two big reveals that are left. One is what is Jod's game plan here? Because we end with the cliffhanger, him lightsaber ignited at the kids and the parents. And number two, it's been teased all season. Who is the supervisor?
I mean, I cannot wait for number two. Quite frankly, number one, it's just part of the story. It's fine. But
I personally think he's going to destroy the droids down there, is what I think he's going to do. And then make the kids and the parents help him figure out how to bring down the barrier to get his ship in. That's my initial guess. Because
what is the time frame for this? When are they?
Like Mandalorian time frame. Like that's why those pirate ships looked identical to the ones in Mando.
Okay, hold on. Sorry. Yeah, you're gonna have to refresh my memory. So, in between what movies is this? 3 and 4?
No, after Return of the Jedi.
Oh, so it's after 6.
Yeah, after 6. But like,
like
The Force Awakens is 30 years after Jedi. This is like 5 years after. That's why there's still X-wings. Moff Gideon's still running around.
No, it can't be him. We've already seen him in The Mandalorian. Wait, could it be Leia's adopted dad?
What is the supervisor? Bail?
Could be Bail Organa.
I think Bail died on Alderaan, if I'm not mistaken.
Oh, that's right. Crap.
Yeah.
Who is the supervisor?
They're
going to ruin the whole series. It's C-3PO.
Well, I think the supervisor is going to end up being somebody that we don't know. It's
okay.
Gonna be.
You don't think it's going to be?
It could be a droid, but like it's someone who's like again, this planet's out of touch, right? Like they don't know that the Republic's gone, right? Like they're still minting Old Republic credits.
True.
And this is the part I don't know. When was the last time an emissary ever came to get the credits? Like this planet's been forgotten, right? Like that's maybe that.
Oh, that's fair
because no one's ever came.
Yeah.
So I think they've been in isolation bubble as to current events in the galaxy. So yeah, I don't know who the
Yeah, they wouldn't
supervisor
know
will
because
end up being.
there's no communication out. Only the emissary ships get
Yeah,
in.
I feel like it's gonna. I don't know why. I feel
You
like
think
it's
it's gonna
gonna
be
be a.
someone new?
Well, I think it's gonna be a droid for some reason. I don't know why. Because like, I don't know.
As long as it's not Jack Black.
Yeah, if it's a human, I don't know. If it's a human, it's gonna be someone new, like a new character.
Fair.
I don't know, but there is some intrigue with the supervisor because even the droid looks right at Jod, being like, "Oh, you'll have to take that up with the supervisor about opening the barrier, right?" So, and you've heard about the supervisor all throughout, so it'll be interesting to see who it is. Maybe it's more of a cameo of like a famous person rather than a character we know.
Oh, that's fair. Yeah,
maybe we'll see. But yeah, it's interesting. I want to know what Jod's end game is now because he's accepted. Essentially, the droids aren't going to touch him because they feel he's an emissary. So I feel he wants to get the frigate down there and for everyone to offload the credits on his ship. So he needs to get the barrier down.
Well, the droids, he doesn't have to destroy the droids. They'll put the credits on the ship.
True.
Like that's their role, right?
Yeah.
So I don't think the thing is what's going to happen with him, the kids, and the parents.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, that's an interesting cliffhanger, and like, we only got one episode left, which is the finale. So it'll be interesting to see how they, what they do, because I feel like they got some heavy lifting. They got to figure out how to resolve Jod. I think you got to. I feel they have to do some sort of explanation as to who Jod is.
They have to.
We've heard him as the Crimson, whatever. He's been
Crimson
Silvo.
He's been Crimson Drac. He's been.
He's literally had, and then the bounty hunter called him something different. So he's literally had 4 different names.
Yeah.
So if you're going to give him that many aliases, I think it'd be good faith to like firm up.
Yeah, we need a little bit of backstory.
Yeah. And then other than that, and then it'll be interesting to see if they shut the whole thing down and open that planet up to the real world and have them stop living in a bubble as well.
God, I hope not.
We'll see. What do you want to do? Do you want to score these as a threesome, or do you want to? Yeah,
let's score it as a 3. Am I up first?
Yeah, you go first.
I'm a full 8.5 on this. Again, I think we both said that we're going to score these higher because we got to see them in succession. I'm a full 8.5. It provided a moment of tension that I never saw coming, and I was super excited about it. The story progressed super well. Again, I can't say enough of what an amazing job these children are doing with their characters. That's a full 8.5. Absolutely. The last 3 episodes have like invigorated my enjoyment of the entire series.
Yeah. I think we're sharing a brain. Like I'm also 8.5, and just, the episodes were exciting. Pacing was great. They look great. They've introduced new concepts, new things to the Star Wars universe. The character development's been sound. It's a nice, it's a very well written, it's a tight show.
Yeah, I agree.
Like it's, again, there's not really galaxy impacting stuff on story implications, but it's a fun story. And like I said,
but that's good. The more variables, the more implications, the more the people, idiots like us on the internet, jump around and they pull it apart. Having such a narrowly focused story really kind of gets rid of the whole, oh, well, that doesn't work because.
Yeah.
Like the fact that there's an isolated planet means everything's off the books. Like that's so cool.
Yeah. There's less for people to be like, oh, they didn't do this properly, or oh, they didn't bring this character. It's more of an original story. Well, it is an original story, which is great. Again, my kids are having a blast, and the smile on their faces is proof enough in the pudding. Yeah. That they're doing the right thing with this one. So I'm really excited for the finale to see how this wraps up. And I can't help but think though, do you think we will see Jod in another project outside of this? For example, do you think we could see him in any of the Mandalorian, Ahsoka stuff? Because all that stuff's going to be crossing over, and it's the same time frame. No,
I do not. I think they stick with the original pirates that they have used, those that species. Now, if this goes well, do we see more from Jod in Skeleton Crew?
In a different story,
like as part of Skeleton Crew? Sure. But no, I don't think you see a crossover. unless it comes out that he is somebody.
Yeah, I think it depends on his backstory.
This and you're like, oh my God, this is who this is. And you educate me on who this person is and the implications there blow up. I mean, that'd be amazing. But unless he's somebody that your head explodes when he reveals who he is, I don't think you see it.
Yeah, like is he a powerful enough ally to like be sought out by either the Imperial Remnant or like Ahsoka and company or Mando and company? I don't know.
Yeah.
We talked about before, Mando might have heard of him before since they probably, hang out in the same crowd, so to speak, right? That scoundrel, bounty hunting, pirating type stuff. But yeah, I don't know. It could, like, I really like Jude Law in that character though. So it'd be interesting if he's just a one and doneer or if they find something else for him to be in.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right.
Well, that will do it for us. We will probably be doing the finale next week, I would imagine.
I would think so.
Yeah. Let us know in the comments. Who do you think Jod will end up being? And we'll see you all next week. Peace out.